Hello, everyone. I'm Krooked, and this is Unscripted, the series where I take a completely unscripted look at games and give them 1 through 10 rating. The second to last Star Wars game, we are playing Jedi Fallen Order. I've played this a little bit on PlayStation 4. I have beaten it on PlayStation 4. I have not yet played it on PlayStation 5, so this is where we're at today. This is a canonical game that takes place after episode 3, before episode 4. I don't think it's gonna let me skip the opening. And that's fine, because it gets you in pretty quick, I'm pretty sure. Visually, this is a modern Star Wars game. If it doesn't look like Star Wars, how? Like, it's so easy to make things look like Star Wars. The sound, the music sounds like it's from Star Wars. Obviously, the droids sound like they're from Star Wars, but the first time I saw this game, I was so blown away, because this is what felt like watching.
I don't want to upset your rhythm, Cal, but the boss wants a word.
This felt like watching Star Wars as a kid.
Good for us. Here he is, Chief.
An error has been detected on line 10A. All our clamps are jammed. I need 2 workers to climb up and secure the cables.
That's not an easy maneuver.
The Guild will double your pay for this shift.
Come on, Cal. What's your score? That couldn't hurt. Huh?
Double pay for super hard work.
Okay.
All right. Let's go.
Get to work.
So,
This way.
I'm right behind you.
like I said, the cutscenes don't last very long, and it immediately gets you right into this. Introduce you to Cal Kestis, and you know, it kind of makes you get involved with it right away. You're kind of grooving along to the music, and then it introduces you to this guy. It's almost like the James Gunn style of doing things. Like when you're watching a movie and the music is just going, you're like, oh man, I love this song. And, you know, it introduces characters. Like, this is done so much in that style. It's so cool.
Now you look at that. A separatist ship.
And it's
Haven't
gorgeous.
seen a Luke or Hulk in ages.
Yeah. Ages.
Breaking her will be big money. All right, let's go.
So, with this, it does set up a lot of story before you actually get to start really playing the game. But it's cinematic enough that you are drawn into the story and you're like, okay, and then it's like, oh, I get to play again. And if you notice, switching from the cinema scenes to this is pretty.
Yeah, I'm good.
It's not like it used to be, where you'd have this super high def video that is great to look at, and then it goes to like horrible graphics. Star Wars Dark Forces 2, great example of that. Goes from gorgeous to terrible looking, and that's what games did. And nowadays you don't see that, which is really nice to see.
Easy there.
Just passing through.
I was like, should I stay? No. Should I stay or should I go? So, some of the controls are a little wonky, though, in this game. For instance, I have to hold L2 to climb, and that's a little weird. Like, what most games right now, you just climb. There's no control required because it's assumed that's what you want to do. And this doesn't have that.
Good to see you.
Something that could probably be used to do something else with the controller, I'm sure. Free up a button for another function, you know. So that's something that could be a bit better. But overall, when you're like moving around, it feels really good.
Sounds like scrap rats. Creepy. Just passing through, guys. No need to come out and say hi this time.
But it feels really smooth. Like, Cal moves where you want Cal to move to. Jumping's pretty smooth, too. I remember during my first playthrough on PlayStation 4 that there were some times where I would want to jump and it wouldn't exactly get the right area I wanted it to jump to, and it was a little bit of a struggle sometimes with that. Oh boy. That sucked. But for the most part, it controls pretty well. If there was anything that this game really was lacking on, I would say it is the controls, compared to the other side of things. What a sassy comeback from Cal Kestis. How'd you get here? How'd you get here? I don't remember if I'm supposed to climb down. Oh yeah, I'm supposed to get over here, I think. Yeah. So it pretty much puts you right in. You're wondering, you know, who's this Cal guy? Why is he here? What happens? And I think it does a really good job of setting up the story properly for it. Oh yeah, this is cool. So that laser is cutting through the ship. And everyone here is just collecting scrap. If you've seen The Bad Batch, it apparently comes to this planet at some point. Which, dope. Oh god! I didn't mean to do that. So, it really gives you the scale of everything in the Star Wars universe when you're doing this. And it's so grand, and not a lot did this up to this point, and still hasn't. Battlefront 2, kinda. But other Star Wars games like The Force Unleashed and Force Unleashed 2, I just feel like they don't hit the same note that this game hits the way that it really needed to.
Got it. Your turn.
At the time it did. But today, they're kind of dated, and I might take a look at them even though, you know, Star Wars month is over because, well, they're still pretty good games from what I remember. But that's the whole point of Unscripted, right? To kind of find out, are the games still that good, or have they changed? And that's why I do a lot of retro stuff and not always modern things. And I guess I don't have to hold L2 because I wasn't that entire time, but, you know.
What a score! It's a real scrapper's payday. I mean, this he's been here, what, 4 years?
So yeah, 5 years after
Went down in a blaze of glory.
the fall of the
Those
Jedi.
Real tragedy. I've always said they couldn't all be traitors.
Yeah, maybe.
I guess it's just our lucky day. Empire's gonna get a lot of good material out of it. Yeah, here we are, scrapping these ships from the war.
I love the storytelling of this game.
What a racket, huh? All of us risking our necks for the bosses. And the pay was better back during the Republic, too.
Hey, you really should watch what you say.
Listen to me. Find us free like this, it'll be your ticket off this soggy rock.
What makes you think I want out of here?
Come on, Cal, you're a young guy. You don't end up like me.
If you're wondering why I'm not talking reviewing, it's because I'm kind of letting you take this in as well, so you can see the storytelling for yourself.
Whatever you say. Hey, we should get back down.
You're not listening to me. What is that?
And this is kind of where everything takes off. So now, you know, we're in this whole sliding section, which still controls pretty well. A lot of older games didn't control really well in other sections like this. But this one does, and, you know, it's just sliding. There's a couple of them throughout the course of the game.
Bro, you okay?
Cal! I can't climb up!
Bro, just hang on.
I'm slipping!
No, don't let go.
I can't hold on!
Bro! No!
And this is where it all changes. Everything. Oh, that would hurt.
I'm all right. Just pin him down.
Pilot's gone. I'll get us out of here. Just hang on.
Watch out, Cal!
Oh, man.
Look out.
It's so intense, everything that happens here. And it's cinematic, like I said. This is like watching a Star Wars movie or the Clone Wars or Rebels. It's so intense and so just breathtaking because you're like, wow, I've seen all this before and I'm still just blown away.
Okay,
We gotta move. Come on.
hell happened? What was that back there? Was that you? What, that was the Force, wasn't it?
Just forget what you saw, okay? Please. Trust
So, for anyone who's not a Star Wars fan, what Order 66 is and the reason why he's freaking out, Order 66 was the genocide of the Jedi, where the entire Republic army turned on the Republic, killed all the Jedi, and then Darth Sidious and the Empire took over. All the Jedi are currently in hiding from the Empire while they track down and try to kill whatever remaining Jedi there are. And all the Force users are in hiding, so Cal is very obviously like,
Good. Yeah, you?
Yeah. Cal, I've been working with you some time now.
It's,
Never seen you do anything like that before.
he's just like, dude, shut up.
So, I know the risk that you took for me. I don't know how to repay you.
Don't mention it. I mean it.
Oh, you don't have to worry about me. This place, it's not safe.
So,
Maybe you should, disappear.
Just gonna head back to my place, grab my bag. Tappers owes me a favor.
it's kind of setting up that he has to leave now because of this.
Yeah. You won't be seeing me for a while, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. Okay, Cal.
And, it's assumed they're the only ones who saw that and everything, but... So this is where the game really kicks in. So, about 10 to 15 minutes of your time is going to be spent going through the opening, kind of learning the basics, and getting the story built up for you. And some games just throw that behind a cinematic. Other games are more, you get to play it. This kind of does both, and I think it does it in a really, really good way. Which is also why this, review's a bit longer than your typical one, because this game deserves that kind of time. And this is interesting time because people are disappearing. So, you're probably wondering what's going on. And the storytelling of this is, I keep going on and on and on about it, like repeating it, but it's so good. Look at Imperial Hall. And the reason I'm doing this is I really want to show you what the rest of this kind of looks like. So, wandering along and alarms going off, and clearly this isn't where I was. I guess I have to keep going down this hallway, the long hallway of the Doom. Oh, I was gonna pan around so we could look at Cal, but it won't let me. And then they all start closing. I like that the right thumbstick is how you interact. It's not a control that you see very often. And that's his old Jedi Master.
Apprentice, mark well and listen.
Master.
Trust only in the Force.
Train has stopped.
So he basically got a vision from the Force, letting him know, hey, things are about to go down.
Everybody up. Identification ready. Move out and line up.
Probably just another contraband inspection.
Yeah, about that. So this is when everyone goes, oh, there's some serious stuff going down. That is no bueno, that we don't want. And that's an Inquisitor. 2 of them. What the Inquisitors are fallen Jedi, basically, that are now hunting their former allies.
Is this all of them?
Yes, second sister.
We seek a dangerous fugitive. This is no common anarchist, but a devotee of the treasonous Jedi Order. Failure to turn over this traitor will result in a charge of sedition. Turn yourself in,
It's
or everyone present
so
shall
intense.
face summary execution.
I think it's time someone came forward. I've been working on this heap a long time. Way before the war. We refit and rebuilt ships.
Oh, Prof.
Best in the galaxy. Then came the Empire. And engineers became scrappers. The workers, they just started getting worked.
Prof.
Yeah,
We all know the
you
truth.
see that lightsaber in his hand.
We're just too afraid to say it. To the Empire, we're all just expendable.
Yes, you are.
Yep. And that's how Inquisitors get Jedi to reveal themselves, ironically, is by killing innocent people.
I found the Jedi!
And now you actually get to play the game. So a lot of people say that this is like a Soulsborne game, and it's not. It's just difficult. You have to take your time, you have to learn what to do. But
Easy now.
it's
Got a stowaway.
a very,
I see you.
very nice playing game. It controls so well, and there's so much customization. You can control the color of your lightsaber. You can control the hilt of your lightsaber. And what's really cool that a lot of people don't know is you can actually build your lightsaber from this game in real life at Disneyland and Disney World. The hilts that they have available for you are the same ones in the game, and it's so cool. Some have changed slightly for revisions, but I think they're in the sequel. But yeah, so this is Star Wars, and it works like Star Wars. You cut things, and things cut. A lightsaber does what a lightsaber's supposed to do most of the time. There are some enemies that can... Oh, I didn't hold L2, so I fell to my death. There are some enemies that are a bit stronger, and there's a lot of instant death points where you're going to be like, oh man, and it's really frustrating at first. Don't look at it like a Souls game, though. It has some of the same mechanics as like Bloodborne, Demon Souls, Dark Souls, things like that. But
Choose to rest instead. That's how I
it's actually a lot easier than those games, and it just takes a little bit of effort to learn how to properly do everything. But it's not super punishing like those games are. So blocking is important. You can't just rush in, and I think a lot of people forget that. But as long as you're blocking and you're doing everything well, as you progress through the story, you're going to be fine. You're not going to have to worry. And you have stamina for blocking, so you have to go through that. And the coolest thing, I think, is Cal is, well, a Padawan that escaped Order 66. And you get to see his journey on becoming a Jedi. So, with all that said, with the controls being a little wonky in parts, and it being a really hard game that's going to be a barrier point that people struggle to get through, but I think that everyone should, because the game is stellar. Amazing storytelling, amazing controls, other than a few nuances. Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order is an easy 9.5 out of 10. It's not quite there to be a perfect game. But, oh, if there is a Star Wars game that is just on the cusp, it's this one. So, with all of that being said, I hope you liked this video. If you did, even though it's a bit longer than normal, go ahead and hit that like button. Hit the subscribe button so you never miss an episode of Unscripted. You can hit the bell so that way you'll be notified when new episodes come out. Also, if you want to support the channel a bit further, you can always check out my Patreon. The link is in the description down below. And other than that, may the Force be with you, and I will see you on the next Unscripted. Bye!
I can't hit him. Don't scare me.
Get to the front. Stop the train.